the mortises, and we did this piece with the spoke shave. I came along, chamfered off that. I did this piece in the meantime, so tenon saw, chisel out that section, chisel out that section. I tidied up that by clamping it to the table and putting the chisel vertical just to tidy it up back to the line. And then I cut off that, and then I used the block plane to make it perfect, all right? So moving on to C, this one has your 2 tenons at the end. So the technically correct way to do tenon is side out, waist side of the line, so you're technically supposed to start off your cuts and turn it away from you, because you only want to be looking at the 2 lines that are visible, not trying to cut all 3 lines at once. Flip it. Okay, so you shouldn't be cutting the back if you're not looking at the line. To get out the middle piece, I'll come to that in a second. Take off the side pieces. I'm just going to put it sideways in the vise. I'm not going right up to the line. Watch for that, or listen to the change in sound. That would break off. Don't cut too deep. Cut off the tenon. Take off this guy. To take off the middle fella, I just use a coping saw. If you are prone to always going under the line with the coping saw, might be the idea to use a 10mm or a 6mm chisel and get a mallet. Just to mark the line. Because if you follow in with the coping saw, then the coping saw is more likely to follow the dent rather than going below the line. And you're also getting a nice straight line. 2 hands on the coping saw handle. Go down through the cut that's already made. And then tidy that fella up. Piece of plywood on the table. You can clamp it to the table if you want. And you can chisel, not all the way, just over halfway. And that will give you a straight cut. To do the outsides then, I just use the wide chisel. There's my wide. And I would line it up, and I would use the thumb to slice the fibres. And that will give you your shiny, smooth finish instead of a saw cut finish then on the end grain, which again, if you're looking for all the marks, is what they want. And then if you didn't go exactly in the right place here, tidy that up. So instead of a saw cut, it's a smooth finish. And just notice that I'm not shoving the chisel in. I'm using my thumb to slice across the grain. And obviously don't go too low past the line. Now, I don't know if it fits yet, so we get the piece. Make sure it goes in the right way around. So that's the front. So we check it. So putting it up against it, I know that's going to be too tight that way. Should be fine that way. So small bit come off. And just take off very, very small amounts. So the tenon would be one of the hardest ones to get right. So again, slicing it is going to be better than jabbing it in, because if you just jab it in, it's going to break along the grain and probably take too much wood off. So which way was it? It's that way, is it?
Yep.
So therefore that's that way. Now don't use a mallet to batter it in. Set it up and lever it in, because if you hit that with a mallet, you're going to get a split going down the end. So also, to help prevent a split, put it into the vise so the base piece is being squeezed together. It's not possible to split. And just gently wiggle it down into place. Okay? And you shouldn't catch your finger when you rub it along. So that is down to using the marking gauge correctly. That's the whole point of the marking gauge, that will line up perfectly at the ends. Right, now you could at this stage take off that or leave it till the end. I'd probably leave it till the end.
How would you take that?
To take it out, right?
No, take off the pieces at the end. Yeah.
Well, I would probably get a pencil now, mark a line around. I'd come outside that, cut it with the tenon saw, put it back together at the very end when everything's together, and then I would use my thumb and slice across the fibre so it's flush. And it's a chiseled finish. Right, to get this guy out again, probably easier to do it this way. Squeeze that in the vise. You're gently rocking it up like that. Okay, you wouldn't batter it or lean it, that'll just snap the tenon. Right, that's that fella done. There's a dovetail there. I would not cut him until I have my tail made, because I can check the fit. There's 2 holes there, and then I've got this fella. Very quickly, the same as way as I did the other ones. I'm just going to put waist piece on there, waist piece there. Use my tenon saw. I didn't hit the line. Put it into the vise. Low enough, block plane. No, it's not taking much off, but because it's set so low, it's giving you a much cleaner cut. Check that you're matching the line on both sides, and straighten it up, and take 1 or 2 final passes where you can feel it sitting flat. So that's that fella done. Maybe come back later and do a tiny bit more there. That's that one. The next awkward one would be this one, which I've labelled as D. You've got your bridle up there. So again, same way as taking the tenon out. Sit it up straight in the vise. My waist is the inside. Very important that you get this right and you don't take too much off the outsides. this is also a case where you might spend ages trying to get this right. If you don't cut it in the right place, just the waist side, if you leave too much waste, you're going to be there for ages trying to chisel away the extra wood. And if you go on the line, your bridle is going to be too loose. So down about 5 mil. Okay, 5 mil down, turn it away from you, back in the vise, so I'm only looking at 2 lines. I'm getting as close as I can to this line now, without going over it. Full length of the saw. Plus I don't have to worry about the top, because the saw is automatically going to follow that groove. I don't even have to think about it straight off. Turn it away from you, about 45 degrees. So you're left with a triangle of waste inside the middle. You can now close your eyes if you want to, because the saw has to follow the previous cuts. Just get down as far as the line. So you want to take that file out, and like before, instead of coming along with the coping saw straight away, because I know the tenon is 6 mil, I'm going to use a 6 mil mortise chisel and just tap to get a clean cut across the grain. Same here. Then I'll come along with the coping saw. That'll pop out, go back down again, and go about halfway, push it away from you, that'll pop up, turn it around. It's already going to follow that first cut. About halfway is around there, push it away from you, pop it up, and that should give you a nice clean cut on the inside then. Okay, and if you made it too wide, it'll be a case you get probably a 13 or so, and just maybe have to tidy it up like that. It all depends on your saw cut. Now we'll do the dovetail now. Next, oh yeah, we'll try to fit this first. So the other one I made, which is this guy. So again, to fit it, close this guy in the vise. This guy up. I assume it's this way. Now you'd have to listen very carefully, because if this piece is too wide, you will hear the bridle starting to stretch, and you will hear the cracking sound. Right, so this is just about right. And again, you'll notice if this is too wide, it'll be wider here and narrow here. Okay, and again, it has to be a nice tight fit, and it's very important, like for the last guy we did, small piece, if you cut it too wide, you're going to see a big gap there and there. So that's about right. Dovetail, get this out, set it up. What do you got? So this is another halving, and then this is your dovetail. I've already shown you the halving, so I'll ignore that. The dovetail, I would do this by cutting the tenon first. So, focus saw vertical. So I'm watching my marking gauge line. Down to 2 mil. Turn it away. Flip it around. stand it up. Make sure you just go down to the line. That's that guy while I'm here. I'm going to put it sideways. I'm going to step back from the line slightly. I'm not exactly on the line. Make sure my saw is actually level and not down to the end. And I'm not going to hit my dovetail line, slightly back from it. Same side here, slightly back from the line. And don't hit that. Then get my bench back in. Tenon saw, double check that there's no X's in this, so I'm keeping this side X's here. I'm getting rid of this one. That comes off. Now tidy that up. So first job will be sides, I think. So wide chisel and start in here and just pairing back the tail. Be careful that you don't shove it in because it'll want to follow the grain. So again, you have to use your thumb to slice the fibers and then try and keep the chisel straight, not at an angle like that. You want to keep it flat. So bear that in mind. Slice with the thumb. Flip it around. I think I took an angle off that. So same story here. Start inside, work your way out gradually, and then slice exactly on the line. To tidy that up, then I'll come in here, get my wide chisel, my mallet, line this up exactly on the line. I don't want to hit it too hard because I might break the tenon. So just get my line crisp. Got that. I'm going to stand it up like this. And tidy up the shoulder here. Flip it around. Tidy up this shoulder down to your line. So again, you've got a nice chiseled edge rather than a saw edge. And then I'll just, using my thumb, slice across those fibers. And then the last one is just to tidy this up, taking barely anything off there, just to get rid of the saw mark. That fella goes into.
The one you just did.
You didn't do the other one.
No,
Well,
you cut
I
this
just
off
need
though.
Part
to-
C. It's in
It's
part C.
underneath the-
It's the one
underneath
underneath
the
the
block.
left.
Underneath the block.
Yeah.
So he's going in there, so I'll just pop him up there. I'll double check that the tails match. So they match, I'm happy with that. I know I can go along and cut this fella, chisel him out. He'll be done then, I just press it in. This guy haven't, we said that's okay. This guy, instead of, it's the exact same as that dovetail, except it's straight, okay? No difference in the process. This guy is a halving, already gone through that. Saw cut with an angle, already done that. And then that'll be the last piece. I'll explain that the next day. That's a short one. Right, done.